Howdy folks. Today I wanted to go over, Hawaii Bad Boy made a video about how basically digital audio players, DAPs, are on the way out. He's talking about how kids that he knows, young kids, just couldn't care less about having a separate device other than their phone to play back audio stuff. And I completely get that. My channel is sort of focused on mobile audio stuff, meaning I'm usually on the go, so I can't necessarily sit down at a desk and pull out a honking pile of audio equipment and listen to it. So over the years I've sort of honed down what I consider to be the best phone experience and audio device for an audiophile on the go. And this is what we're looking at right here. This is the LG G8X. Yeah, just tap that. And so this phone here is obviously a dual screen phone. A lot of folks probably have no clue about LG. It's sort of off the map. Nobody cares. But let me just show you how this is. So two screens, right? This thing that we're looking at is actually a case, right? So that's this. So the case itself is the second screen, right? And it goes like that. By the way, I've got tempered glass protectors on all of the screens. This, front, and well, it's got a little, what do you call it, plastic protector on that back part. But so yeah, so basically the idea with this case is that you can either have it with two screens or just one. And so to do that, you just kind of like pop this up right up here. Or at least that's what I do. I push them back out and pop the phone out. So that's the second screen case, which is obviously USB-C. Like so. Yeah, I was just making sure there wasn't a serial number I cared about on that. So it looks like that. I think you can get these for about 150 to 200 bucks. Sorry about the fingerprints and touching it, so it's going to be what it is. And then just so you know, there's a little tiny screen up yonder. It's a little like OLED screen that shows you, it's like an always on screen, just the time and maybe like how many notifications you have. It's pretty useless basically, but it's there. So this is how you might want to use this device as an audio player. And then this is just the actual phone itself, right? Cool. So if I'm mobile, I'm probably not taking the second screen. I'm probably doing something like this. Right, just a nice little protector. By the way, in-screen fingerprint reader, which even worked. Well, it works about 60% of the time. So that's how that looks. This is sort of the mobile setup. And desk setup would be with that guy, which is actually pretty cool. So anyway, features. Let me stick it back in the audiophile setup for a desk so we can see why, or at least one of the reasons I love this. And I'm not going to go into the friggin' specs of every stupid thing on this phone because, yeah, let's turn that screen on. We just do that, and there we are. Okay, so you know, it's got a lot of memory and all that jazz. This one's got a 128 gigabytes of internal memory. It's got a SD card slot. I think just one SIM probably. And anything that matters, a nice awesome headphone jack. It's waterproof. You know, all those things kind of like add up to something. One of the big things why I like this, it has a flat screen, so the edges are not rounded off. God, I can't tell you how hard it is to protect those with a tempered glass protector. With something like this, you can just buy yourself a pack of, you know, 3 or whatever for $5-7 bucks, and you're good to go. And I do smash the screen protectors all the time, so this is like actually important to me, is having a flat screen. And the LG G8 has the corners have like a 2.5D or whatever the hell they call that, edges, so it is harder to protect, and also has a smaller battery. Now, because this has two screens, by the way, these are both OLED screens, which is cool for being outside. You can actually see it. We got the brightness cranked all the way up. You can go down all the way to like so, and then of course my camera blows it out, but let me just turn it up. There we go. Yeah. So 4,000 milliamp hour battery in this half, and there's no battery in the case itself. So If you're rocking two screens, then that becomes pretty good. Like you can get a whole day out of pretty good usage, maybe 8 hours of on-screen time, maybe about that. Actually, I've heard 8 to 10. I usually don't use phones that much, but so then you take the second screen off, and then this thing runs like twice as long. So you'll get like, I'm not joking, 2 or 3 days. I usually forget to charge this at least once every other day. And it does have wireless charging, so you just toss it on a wireless charger and whenever you remember, and it's pretty much good all the time. The battery life on this is pretty well stunning. It's just like Jesus. Also, like I said, I rock it mostly during the day with just the one screen, so at the end of the day I'm usually at like 80%, and I'm listening to music and stuff. Anyway, you get the point. 4,000 milliamp hour battery, awesome. Not too heavy. It actually has stereo speakers, so just this half. So there's like a speaker up on top, and then a speaker I think down here, and then there's, I'm not sure if there's one like in. No, I don't think there's one here. It's on the bottom right down here. But any case, so if you're looking at watching a movie or a YouTube, it does sound like stereo if you're looking at it, which is actually really nice. The other LGs don't have that, I don't think. I never noticed it anyway. So like in this format, we're going to just rock. So I got a couple of things. I got Power Amp, that's my favorite music player. I got USB Audio Player Pro. This Ear Studio app is to control the Radstone ES100, which is like a little headphone amp that's awesome for on-the-go stuff, so you're not tethered to your phone with a cable. And then I got the built-in LG Music app, which is actually good. And for people that care, bypasses the Android mixer and resampler. So the built-in music app does that, just to let folks know in case you don't want to screw around with anything else. Power Amp. So on this phone, Power Amp doesn't seem to support Bluetooth HD. So in other words, if you're running Bluetooth out of this, it appears that it actually it sends it through the Android mixer and then out of whatever you're doing. Not all the LGs are like that, and I believe it's probably just Power Amp needs an update for this phone. It's kind of new and maybe not so popular, so they haven't updated it yet. But it does in fact support the direct HD through the headphone jack for the quad DAC, which is over here. I don't really say that, but the headphone jack on this is as good as it gets on any phone, absolutely 100%. So here's our quad DAC. Just tap that. It's got some features. Basically, you've got some stuff in here you'll never use. I never normalize it. Who'd ever do that? It's got an equalizer. I also don't equalize in this because I don't. DTS 3D surround, nah. And then, so all this is grayed out because I don't have headphone plugged in, but let's do that. So we got some stuff we can poke now. So you got left and right balance, obviously very easy. We got presets, who cares, just EQs, and then we got digital filters, and I swear I can hear these on this. This is crazy, but yeah, these are really easy to hear on this device. I don't know if that means it's good or bad, but anyways. So as far as the headphone jack goes, folks that don't know about LG stuff, this headphone jack detects whether your headphones are, oh god, it's like I think 50 ohm or above impedance, and then sets the amplifier to be able to power those type of headphones. So if it's below 50, you get like a lower power version of it. So there's a trick, which is you just stick in a little, say like a couple-inch headphone extender into the jack, you wait a second, and then plug your headphones into the extender. And that tricks it because the jack has infinite resistance, because it's still like a line out sort of thing. So basically it sets the phone into line out mode, which is like maybe, I don't know, it's got a lot more power than just with the low impedance mode, which most headphones will trigger, or sorry, most IEMs will trigger. So basically I do tend to take the little extender with me just in case I feel like I want a little extra oomph on it. In general though, all my IEMs, you turn this up, like you might get up to like 80-90%, but it will power them in low impedance mode with no problems and doesn't sound funny. As far as the sound signature, this says Quad Saber ESS Saber DAC, and it sounds as definitely better than any other phone you'll ever run into, and quite likely better than a lot of standalone devices, whatever they might be. This is just Power Amp's little visualizer. So this thing is highly recommended. You could easily just rock this, plug your headphones in, and be happy for life. Like seriously, it's really that good. If someone told me to A/B test this with like my Radstone ES100 headphone jack versus that, I would probably have a relatively difficult time doing it. It's very good. In fact, I'm going to do some A/B testing because I just never really did it, but I kind of think this actually might have slightly higher quality headphone out than the ES100, which is, you know, very good. Does it sound as good as my favorite device ever? Just about. This is my, well, not ever, okay, but this thing has some good synergy with some of my headphones. And so this also has very good synergy with all my headphones. Which one's better? Well, this has 1 watt of power, so it's it'll nuke this thing, the LG, in actual power. But I'm going to call this thing, let's say, well, definitely an A+ for a mobile phone for audio. But in terms of overall, like, just, I don't know, on a scale of, we'll say 1 to 10, 10 being like the best device ever, maybe it's a 7 or an 8, you know, something like that. Other folks might argue with me on that, but it's quite good. The output impedance on this, oh geez, I should have, like on the phone itself, I should have tested this before I made the video. But I do remember reading that it's fairly low. It's like, but not the lowest ever. I think the point is it was low enough to where it should never affect any kind of headphones frequency response. It was maybe under 1 ohm. So anyways, just to give you an idea of what's going on here is USB audio player. And, you know, versus a digital audio player, this thing is lightning fast. I mean, give me a break. You know, we're doing 2 phones here. By the way, in case you care, you could do something crazy like, you know, fire up some YouTubes on this side and listen to music over here. Well, I don't think you can play 2 audio streams out of Android. Well, anyway, you get the point. You can do 2 things. I could surf. I could do something else. Let's see, is there anything else that we care about on this? So, excellent battery life. The headphone jack's amazing. Oh, I should say it's got LDAC, and in terms of its Bluetooth reception, or sending, well, it's not reception, the Bluetooth antenna that sends out to a receiver device is stunningly good. This thing is as good as you'll ever find on anything. It's like 30 feet through walls, things like that, more even. It's fantastic. You'll never have cutouts. And also I use LDAC at 990 kilobit per second, which is like its top setting on this. And you'll get at least 15-20 feet away, at least, and no problems. So that's, I think as the bit rate goes up, you maybe need a stronger signal. I'm not sure. But you get the point. It's damn good. It's as good as you'll ever get on any phone, no question, bar none. So this is the audiophile phone of 2020, in my opinion, and maybe 2021, I don't know. Who knows what'll come out this next year. But also price. So I bought this for $450. It was like an open box, and you can get these. Well, the guy that told me kind of about them to begin with, I think he bought his for maybe $350. He got a really good deal. He's in another country. This is, by the way, the North America unlocked version of this. If you get a branded like Sprint or AT&T, you're screwed if you try and use it on another carrier. You got to get the unlocked version. Probably, well, I think this actual version was worked in India and other ones too. So really cool. So yeah, $450, $500 from Amazon during like just the last month, and for a dual screen phone with all of these features. Also, the processor's like maybe one generation down from the top of the line, but it's super fast. Who cares? I don't know. I don't play games or do any of that crap. It's plenty good enough for anything, and extremely fast, faster than any DAP you'll ever stick your hands on. There's no question about that. It's ridiculously fast. So I wanted to go over this phone. Maybe some folks would enjoy this. If they're on the market for a new phone and wanted something that works well with audio, you can rock this. I got a 512 gig SD in here. It's got 128, so that's a lot of memory, baby. Oh, also, it, just to let you guys know, it does have the Google Camera app. And if anyone's used LG's camera, sometimes it's good, sometimes bad, but the Google Camera app works on this, and you get all that extra color science that Google bakes into that. So I always rock that on my phones. Cool. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye-bye.